as we open up another episode, I am now reminded of how long I've actually known you. The fact that Anaya's just turned 15 years old.
Bro, I know, it's crazy.
I've known you a long time.
Yeah. Hey, big ups to you. Shout out to the namesake. It's crazy. I'll be honest, because, obviously, what's Zuri, 6 or 7?
Just turned 6.
She's just, okay, so Zuri and Harper are about a year apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get to the point where Zuri gets to be a teenager, that's the first one, right? That's the first domino, in my opinion, that kind of falls, if you will. And so, obviously, Anaya is incredibly special to me. Absolutely love her. I'm the firstborn. She's the firstborn. So there's always going to be that connection, right? But what's interesting is that as they get older, and it's like, I don't need daddy. You know what I'm saying? And it's no longer daddy, so to speak. It's just, hey, dad. Mm-hmm. Like that's a big thing for me, bro. Like,
the independence thing is something real. I mean, I got a 6-year-old.
I don't
She's
want
got
to
her
say
own streak.
it's not independence as much as it is me breaking away from and like, she's still a child. Like, don't get it twisted. But she does her thing, but not independently, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she didn't have to be at your hip.
No, not at all. And she's not. And so we had a conversation, and she was like, Daddy, I'm just not a little kid anymore. And that was the first time I was like, damn it. Like, and she's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just to kind of give you some foreshadowing and prepare you for that, because it's a little, punch to the gut, so to speak. Baby girl, I absolutely love you. I think you are amazing, and just happy birthday again. Shout out to you for turning 15. She's active in volleyball. She does a number of things in school in terms of school activities. She's damn near a straight A student. She got a couple B's in there, but high B's, like 89s.
She's on the right track.
Yeah, 100%. But I got to give a shout out to her mom. Like, I think her mom does an amazing job from that perspective. In my opinion, she is a phenomenal mother. And so, I think Anaya is on the right track, and I'm happy where she is, and I'm very excited for what she has moving forward.
So, speaking of amazing women and their accomplishments, we had a very interesting guest on the show. You called me here one day, and you said, "Hey," you said you have the book, and I was like, "Yeah." You said, "When's the next available date?" And I said, "This date." And you said, "We got a guest." I said, "Okay."
Yeah, and I want to give a big shout out, Jeff and Astute Gentleman. We came in, we did a recording, and actually had a business meeting, and ended up running into a former guest on the show, and lo and behold, our guest today was here, and we chopped it up, and the conversation just made sense.
Okay,
right. So I'm super excited about today and the conversation that we're going to have, because it really taps into a number of different things. Women empowerment, taking a step out and walking out on faith, how to grow a social media community or following, how to leverage that community into a business, and how to make that business a 6-figure business at that. So I'm tremendously excited and stoked about this, man. So I know you do the intro, so I'm trying not to steal your shine.
Are you good?
But go ahead, brother. Lead us in.
Because today's guest is a native of California. She hails from both L.A. and the Bay, as I found out offline.
The Bay, eh?
Yeah, the very interesting Bay. She is a fitness influencer. She is a cosmetics line owner. She's a businesswoman all the way around. Please welcome Morgan Dawson to the Vision Lab podcast.
Hello.
Good morning. What up, and what up?
How are you guys?
Very good.
Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Yes.
Nice to meet you too.
Incredibly humbled and honored that you are blessing us with your presence. We're tremendously grateful for you jumping into the lab with us. And so I've got to, let's just go ahead and pull back the curtain and just jump right into it.
Let's go.
You're amazingly beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And I'm just curious, like, what and how did all of this come about? Because people don't, you got almost 1 million followers, close to it, on Instagram. And then we got different social media outlets or platforms that you're on, and you've really grown this thing. So how did this all get going? How did this all start?
So basically, I just used Instagram to hold myself accountable. Like, I was never looking to grow like a large community or anything like that. I was really just using it to I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to eat healthy, and I keep falling off of my routine. So if I use this platform to hold myself accountable, I tell people I'm going to post every day, then I got to post every day.
Okay.
So that's exactly what I did. And I didn't know that people would take so well to my content. So my videos just started going really viral, and I was like, oh, people like what I'm doing. And then I was like, maybe I could actually take this seriously. So I was like, what other qualities do I have about myself? Do I feel like people will like? What do people like about me in real life? People love my personality. I'm very goofy. So I started posting gym humor content.
Gym humor.
Oh, in the I made funny videos in the gym.
Okay.
And then my page really started to grow and go crazy. And then I started making smoothie videos, cooking videos, and then that took me all the way to 300, 400,000 followers.
So I want to pause right there, okay? And I want to go back to the very beginning, right? Obviously, you understand that you're an attractive young lady, okay? But you said something that was very curious to me, or struck a chord with me. This workout, not workout. Were you kind of up and down on some things, or were you going through something emotionally that said, you know what, I'm locked in now, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put myself out there, and I'm going to leverage social media to hold myself accountable? Was there what do you like to call it? A fork in the road, or a tipping point for you? A moment of clarity?
Well, yeah, I had this moment when I was about 24, 25, but I was very, very depressed.
Why?
I'd never been that. Why?
Yeah.
Because I just feel things weren't coming together, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and time is ticking. So I'm I don't know what I'm doing. So I just had a whole breakdown, and because I couldn't figure out what path I was trying to take. And so I would have the same, while I was super depressed, I would have the same repetitive dream every single night over and over. So I could foresee my future. I could foresee everything that would that was amazing to come. And I would get very sad, because I'm oh my God, in my dreams, I have this very clear vision. And I'm I'm so much older. I'm in my late 30s. So then I used to get stressed out thinking oh my God, I'm not going to have money and all these things until I'm way older. That's 15 years from now. Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do until then? So then it would delay me even more, wanting to get started. And then I was one day I was just you know what, I need to get it together. I need to find clarity in my thoughts. I already know what my future is going to be way in the future, and I need to start doing the work to get there.
So I'm now you got me super intrigued. Okay.
Well,
so
I just using the word vision.
Yeah. Hello. So you had this vision, right, of what it would look like, perhaps late 30s, right? Obviously, you're not there yet, okay? But is that vision that you had back when you were 24, 25 years old, is that what you saw? Are you living that out now, or is it even greater or different? What does that vision look like?
No, I'm not there yet. I think I'm on the way there. I can see it more clearly every day. That I'm heading in the right direction. But no, I'm not there yet.
Love that.
So I like what she's talking about, because I've said it on previous episodes, right? And when we've had men on the show, we've talked about when you get to a certain point, okay, I got to do something, and it's one of those things. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. When you have that fork in the road moment in your life, whether you're a man or a woman, it's okay. Well, here's where it is. Your dream, you keep your recurring dream. You could see where you wanted to go, and I'm sure you had to ask yourself, okay, Morgan, am I even remotely close to going down that path? And it's one thing
am I even on that path?
Yeah, and it's one thing to reconcile within yourself to be all right, I'm not where it is I want to be, but I understand that I'm currently taking the steps to get there. It's another thing to keep having that recurring dream, and then you look in the mirror one day and be you are nowhere, you're not even on the right road, let alone going down the right path. I'm curious, as you kept having this reoccurring dream, and now hearing you say that you're nowhere near close to where it is that you want to be, as you're in the throes of this on a daily basis, how have you reconciled that versus where it is you're trying to go versus where you are?
Ask that question one more time.
How have you reconciled that within yourself? Because like you said, you kept having this reoccurring dream. And you thought to myself, well, that's 10, 15 years down the road. Like, I got to do something now.
Because I still think about the dream all the time. And I'm like, that's so crazy that in this reoccurring dream, I had the dream every day for like a month. But it was like, I'm not going to be older until I have the things that I like saw for myself when I was young. And when I look back at it now, I'm like, dang, not gonna have those things until I'm this age because I spent too much time like worrying when I'm gonna have these things instead of like actually putting in work. Like, yeah. So that's truly, what I see when I look at it. So really
what it was is like, Morgan, it's time to get to work.
Yes.
And it's interesting. I wanna kind of piggyback on what you were asking, but I think it's also appropriate because there's people that are our age, 40 plus years old, right, that don't have things figured out. And I think a lot of times we assume, and I think it's natural for your mid-20s to say, oh, I don't have life figured out. That makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's a small percentage or a handful of people that say, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And here are the steps to do it, right? But what people don't talk about, and we had Wes Atwell on the show.
Shout out to Wes.
A couple months ago. But he talked about adolescence. Mm-hmm. And I want to share this with you because you are younger than us. Like, adults don't got it figured out. Like middle-aged adults don't often have it figured out. Or they had it figured out and life changes. Right, like you're on a path, you're on a journey, you're doing things right. I mean, I'm a prime example of that. And then life be lifing. You know what I'm saying? And so whether you're 24, 44, 64, life be lifing sometimes. And you'll realize like, hey, we've had episodes on pivoting, right?
Yes.
And multiple. So it kind of sounds like to me, you were at your first quote unquote pivot or epiphany moment where it's like, hey, I got to get to work. And so what I love about what you've done is that you leveraged who you are, your personality, your looks, right? And you turned that into a very, very successful social media following. So I know that there's a lot of people that are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
all the
platforms, because God knows at our age I don't even know how to keep up. But a lot of folks look at the stuff that you do, right, and they think, oh, well, I could just post a bunch of times, and I'll have 1 million followers. I have 10 million followers or whatever it is, right? But I know we kind of talked a little bit offline. Like, what are some of the things that people can do to go viral and to grow a massive following like you have?
I don't think people should really be focused on like going viral because if you notice, people that seem like they go viral overnight, like they disappear, you never hear from them again. I think people should be focused on trying to build a strong community, and I think you should just ask yourself what value you have to offer people. I think a lot of people struggle growing platforms because not everyone, but a lot of people do lack self-awareness. Like they don't know what like looks good to the eye, or like they think because their mom told them they have a nice smile that's their best asset. Like
idol syndrome.
Like, look in the mirror and you really need to know what's your best asset. Like what do people besides your family members like about you and like compliment you on. So playing on your best assets. Providing
pause
value.
Real quick. I gotta jump in for a second. I love what you just said. Find your best attributes and promote that. How do I know what are my best attributes?
You have to do stuff. Like I've had every job in the world. Like
trial and
error. Like I've traveled all over the world. I've done everything that there is to do. I've lived a life at 34, and interacting with people, you just find out what people like best about you. Like I always made people laugh. People always compliment me on my smile, my skin, and I love working out. and I love making recipes and stuff like that. So I'm like, how can I tie all these things in together to make them make sense? And it all goes together. Like everything I like and everything I'm good at, every great like attribute I have, it all literally goes together.
This is a sidebar, and I apologize for cutting you off, but I think that was an important point. How does it feel to know that people really do like you? You know what I'm saying? Because like likes, comments, shares, follows, etc. By all intents and purposes, like you resonate with.
You got a very strong Q rating.
Yeah, you resonate with people.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's so great. I think it's so great to know that you can like change someone's mood or day, or it's like I used to run fitness challenges, and so I've helped like so many women like transform their bodies and build more confidence. So just knowing that you've helped women or men that much that they just locked in with you no matter what. Like I've changed my content so many times. Like we talked about pivoting. I'll pivot as many times as I need to pivot. And through changing my content 50 times, however many times I've had, like I still have like so many people on my page. I'm always amazed because I'm like, I started in fitness. I've gone here, there, this, that, sexy, not sexy, and people is still like there. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm curious. You said you've had every job known to man. What are some of the jobs that you've had along this journey to get to this spot in life?
Should we have seen you at DG's?
No, I never been a stripper. I've been a security guard.
Hey, Allied? Was it Allied?
Oh no, I worked for
you don't have to
Securitas.
Okay,
I think that's what it's called. And then I've worked in retail. And it's so funny because the last retail job I had, my boss told me that was the best job that I would ever have in my life.
Oh wow!
And I was like, goodbye. So. And then when I moved to Dallas 3 years ago, I was in the mall and I saw his store because he had a store in LA and then he has a store in Dallas. And I walked past his store not knowing his store was in the mall. And I was like, no way. Like, did I just like, and that was the height of like me making so much money from Instagram during COVID. And I'm like, I was making like $4,500 a month in this guy's shoe store. And now I'm making like 30 bands a month, just like helping people work out. I don't even really work hard. And I just wanted to walk in his store so bad and be like, I thought you said this was going to be the
give me one of all these, please. Give me one of all these.
Yes. But I used to do background work on TV shows, commercials.
Like as an actress?
Like a background actress, yes. Okay. I was in
there. What do they call it?
Do they call them, is the technical term extra?
Extra, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say I'm not a Hollywood guy, so I wouldn't know.
Well, I am. No, seriously. Back in 2000, I was on As the World Turns as an extra.
I did not know that. I learn something new every day.
Yeah, there you go.
Indeed. So I'm gonna push the ball forward, right? So you're at this really cool, I'm gonna call it intersection, because you've clearly mapped out where it is you're trying to go. So now you're clearly on your journey. What does a day in the life of Morgan Dawson look like now that you've gotten to this certain, I'm not gonna call it a plateau, but you've gotten to a really good sweet spot for right now
as an influencer?
It's so crazy because every day looks so different. Right now, like I try to do my content days like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the other days I'm like making emailers to send out for my company, or making oil, trying to formulate things, learning new formulations. Every day is like really different. My days are never the same ever.
Do you have because you have your hands in multiple things.
Yes.
Do you say like, I'm just making this up, but like Monday, Tuesday, I'm content driven.
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday,
cosmetics.
Thursday, I'm cosmetics.
Yeah, that's what I do now. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is all content. Sundays, I spend the day like making emailers, and then I plan them out for the week and clean my house up. And then the other 2 days of the week, if I have to make any oils or anything like that. But then if I have to like pack and ship orders, like I took orders before I came here. I dropped packages off at the mailbox. But
so you still running? Okay, so she opened the door. I had to walk through.
Yes, you do.
You said making oils. I mentioned in your intro, you've got a cosmetics business. We understand what you said when you said making oils, but since you kind of open that up, can you tell us about your cosmetics business? Because not only you're a fitness influencer, but you're a true businesswoman too with your cosmetic cosmetic line. Please tell us about it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you guys how I got started. So I had been thinking about like starting to sell my own body oil for a while. And then I went to Atlanta to do a fitness boot camp. And the girl that I was doing the boot camp with, she was like, Morgan, your skin is literally so pretty. Oh my gosh. And I was like, thanks. She was like, you should sell a body oil. And I'm like, that's so crazy that you say that, because I've been thinking about doing it. And so I was like, for me, that was confirmation. And then once I'm the type, if I get confirmation that I know I'm supposed to do something, like I don't waste time. I don't think like, oh, I need to do so much research for months. Like I'm just going to do it. So like I went online, I like researched formulations for like a good body oil. I ordered samples, and I ordered labels, bottles, I ordered all these things, and I ended up making 13 bottles. Like 2 weeks after I left my boot camp, I came home and I had 13 bottles ready to sell. I posted them on my Instagram, and then I sold them all within like an hour or two. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So then I shipped them out, and then the people that bought them like really liked them. Actually, I think it was like 20 something bottles, but they really liked them and left me reviews. And so I used that money, I flipped it, and then I made like 50, 60 bottles.
Reinvested in yourself.
I reinvested in myself. And I used the reviews that I got on my first batch, and I like put them over a video. And then I ended up selling like the next 60 bottles in like a day. And like within like 3 months, I ended up making like $100,000 off of oil. And I was like, that's so crazy. Like, what did I even just do? I don't even know what I'm doing. Lord have mercy.
But and that's you know, that's one of the things I definitely want to talk about, because there's a lot to unpack. So let's go back. You come out of Atlanta. You meet a young lady that says, hey, you need to come out with your own oil, etc. And you like, well, I was already thinking of that. That was confirmation. You go out and you do it. You research the ingredients and how to formulate, etc. But then I want you, and there's your camera. I want you to talk to people about how you like step by step what you did, so that if anybody wants to replicate or duplicate your efforts, they you know, the game has already been showed. Like the blueprint's already showed.
Like let the people know how to make a product.
No, more along the lines of more. I think more along the lines of your process.
Your process,
not the actual how to make the oil, but like I love what you said. Like you're one of those people. Like, okay, you're not gonna waste time. You're just gonna go. And I'm the same way.
That's a huge thing.
I'm the same way. Like he'll tell you. Like I'm very much like we will figure out we will jump out the building now. We'll build a parachute on the way down. Like I don't want to study for 6 months how to build a parachute. We got to go at some point.
Yeah, and like you weren't worried about like. And I love this about you. You never thought about failure. You never thought about, well, what if this doesn't work? You never thought like.
Well, in my eyes, it's just like if something doesn't work, then you try something else. And like a lot of people are like, they're scared of being embarrassed. And they're like, oh my God, this is going to be so embarrassing if I fail. Like nobody's even going to remember. Like, and if someone has that much energy to remember that something did not work out for you, like something is mentally wrong with them.
They're
like,
hating, so that's how they're hating anyway.
That's a gem.
Yeah, like that's so strange.
That's
so like, I don't remember like if someone's post was weird or cringy. Like I don't remember that like in 10 minutes. So like,
I want to go back. This is a couple years ago. We had Jamie Winborn on the show. And it was an impactful, and I'm paraphrasing, it was an impactful statement that basically was like, hey, you know, we're all a grain of sand in the world of life. Like you are significantly insignificant,
yes.
I think is what he said. Mm-hmm. And that comment meant so much to me, because oftentimes people get so worried about what other people think or other people may say, etc. But bro, sis, you're gonna let somebody block your blessings because you're worried about, you know what I'm saying?
Their
opinions of things. And I love that you have this mindset at such a young age, and you leveraged a community that you built out. You know, you got over 750,000 followers on Instagram, and you know all this stuff, and like you're wildly successful, and you said, "Fuck it, I want to do it." You know, so I just think that's so huge, and I know our visionaries, and that's what we call our listeners, are curious. Like, okay, well, what are the steps? Like, how do I do that?
Well, you just need to do it. Like, YouTube and Google are your best friends. Like, people drive me nuts. Like when they ask me questions under my posts and stuff. Like, Morgan, what is this? How do I do this? go to Google it. Like
YouTube University.
YouTube University, like people like answers given to them instead of just going to look it up. Like if you want to start a skincare brand, you need to look up packaging, you need to look up labeling, you need to look up formulations, and you need to start a Shopify store. If you do those things, all you have to do is go on YouTube and watch videos on how to start a business. On whatever business you want to start, there is a million videos. Yeah. And I'm so confused where other people are confused. Yeah. Because just Google it. Yeah. I always feel that with everything. Like any question I want to anything, just Google it.
Yeah. I've got a question just as, and a lot of our audience are either entrepreneurs or looking to become entrepreneurs, right? And create their own pathways. Was there a lot of startup costs? Now, obviously, you have a massive following, so you.
No, I started my business with $200. I said, "Listen, I used to sell resistance bands. I used to sell custom resistance bands, and I knew I didn't want to do it for a long time. But I had put a lot of money into it, and I was like, okay, but once I make the money back, like I'm not even tripping if I sell like a bunch more or not. Like this is not what I want to do. Like long term, like this isn't it. So I was like, the next time I start a business, I'm not gonna invest a whole bunch of money up front. I'm penny pinching, and even if I have more money or not, like I'm just not about to blow my money.
Even though you're making 30 racks a month?
Yes. I was not. I had just moved to Dallas. My rent was high. I was like, I'm just not about to blow a whole bunch of money on business, especially when I'm already making money over here doing this. So I started with like around $200, $250. Now times are different. Inflation has like raised the prices a lot. So I think those things, if I were to start my skincare business now, it would cost me like upwards of like $500. But I wasn't.
Still not a lot.
Not a lot. But like I'm not the type of person like everything needs to be perfect. Like I just need to start to see if I even have something. Do I have something that I need to even waste my time trying to perfect? Because if I drop this oil and the packaging is not the absolute best, but the product itself is great, then I could figure out everything
the wrapping. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, my first labels were actually very terrible. They were like paper, like the cheapest paper, and I did not realize. I was like, oh my god, they have to be waterproof and oil proof. I didn't even realize that, and so I was like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. So then immediately I just made new labels, made new bottles.
That was after your first 20 or 13 or whatever.
Yes, the next batch I stepped it up a little bit.
Well, that's common.
Yes.
Like Coca-Cola wasn't the same Coke that we have now. McDonald's isn't the same McDonald's, even though they did have the E. coli situation last month or whatever. But you know, you grow, you evolve, you get better.
I didn't even have a website for my skincare. Like I just put my oils on the same website that I have my little fitness programs and booty programs. I didn't even have a website till like a year ago. I sell booty programs and for fitness challenges and stuff like that for women.
I want to compliment you on just that, because I am wired that way too. Like I believe there's not a such thing as a quote unquote perfect plan. There's just some things you're just not going to find out till you actually get into it.
Exactly.
And kudos to you, because I've seen so many instances where people will have an idea, you can tell like they're working through it, but they'll spend forever working through it, versus the person who's like, oh no, I got an idea, let me just get started on that now, and I'll just figure it out as it comes to me. A lot of people get sidetracked in the minutia of really trying to have all the answers before you start. The game's not set up that way.
Yeah.
Like how can you, if you start off perfectly, there's no room for improvement.
Yeah.
There's no room to get better and to refine your product, to refine your process. Like you just got to start somewhere.
No, if you don't have like big investors and like a huge budget and like a whole big team behind you that you know if y'all drop this perfect product and a celebrity more than likely is going to go viral. But if it's like just you don't need to waste so much time and energy trying to like perfect something that you really have no idea if it's going to work. Because you could have a great product and it's still not like hit the market properly. Sometimes timing is just like simply everything. So I would just tell people, stop overthinking stuff and just
go.
Just do it.
Yeah, Nike.
Yeah, it sounds so cliche, but like honestly, it's just the truth. You have to do it. Like the longer you think about your idea, like the more prone you are to like never starting it.
I saw a guy say something the other day. He said, and he's multi-millionaire. He said, I'm not smarter than anybody else that I do business with.
Most aren't.
He said I'm faster. And the person interviewing, they were like, well, what do you mean? He's like, by the time an idea pops in my head, he was like, I've gone through 4 or 5 rounds of trying to figure out what it is that can happen. He's like, I failed 4 or 5 times, so I figured out all the bugs, versus the person who's tried to put it on paper and map it out. He's like, maybe they've gone through the cycle of it one time. He's like, I've tried to hurry up and fail as fast as I can so I can figure out what to do right. And that's how I'm beating people. He's like, I'm not smarter. He's like, I just go.
Yeah,
just go.
We need to get him on the show.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I saw on YouTube the other day too, like someone said ideas are not just for you, they're recycled. So if like you're blessed with an idea from God, from the universe, whatever you believe in, if you don't act on that idea, they're going to give that $1 million idea to somebody else to do. I have had ideas, didn't do them, and I've seen someone else do it, and I'm like, why didn't I do that?
So I'm glad you said that. I'll say 2 things to that. Number one, no one has an original idea.
Nothing new under the sun.
People do not realize that. Number 2, hand of God, true story. Early 2000s, bro. Me and my brother, we were having a conversation. I'm like, bro, we need to figure out a way to rewind radio before Sirius came out and all this other stuff. But we didn't take any action. We didn't do any research. It was just conversation, like it was thought or whatever it is. But like, if you're not willing, if you have an idea, if you've been blessed with a unique idea that stands out, and you don't take action, I agree. You know, I've never heard that before, but like, it could be given to somebody else. There's no idea that's new. There's no idea that's new.
Yeah, it's the universe. That's the universe saying, "Oh, okay, you don't want to do anything with it. Let me give it to somebody else who will."
Yeah, because we got to get this out here. You know, and for me, I'm a believer, so that's kind of how I look at things too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to act on stuff or your idea will be...
Well, the Bible says faith without works is dead, right? Like, You got to put it into work, which is action, right?
Well, what did I say 2 years ago? Action and execution.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, if you bring me an idea, I only want to have the conversation about the actual idea maybe 2-3 times. But after that, what are we going to do to actually make it happen? And if we're not, cool, what's next? But I don't want to have the same conversation about the same idea 25 times and no action behind it.
Well, we
got to move on to something else.
It's funny that you say that. So I've been in a situation over the last 60 days or so, and finally I said, maybe even longer than that, but finally I said, okay, let me just drop the hammer, because I'm a lot more of a thinker than you are, right? When it comes,
you're more methodical.
And no disrespect.
It's the yin and yang of our relationship. Everybody who meets us understands it. It's fine.
And it's not that I'm afraid, because you obviously know that, but like, I dropped the hammer, I did some things, and I'm already seeing within 3 days massive results.
It's amazing what happens when you just decide to go.
For sure.
When you hit the start button, like, stuff starts happening.
Yeah. So big ups to you on doing that. So we've kind of crossed this bridge, right? Where we're talking about the oils and things like that. I want to give you the opportunity to talk about what the actual brand is. Like, what is your brand?
Morgan Dawson?
No.
The skincare line.
The skincare line. So what made me like really want to start it is because I always would be thinking like, since I'm not going to be this super young, rich girl that I thought I would be.
Sis, you just said you was collecting 30 racks a month.
No. See, I've always been a hustler. Like I was a little business owner when I was in the 7th grade. Like I used to sell stuff to the security guards at my school. Like I always had a big vision, like, and I don't know where I got it from, but I always was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. And then I don't know what happened after high school, but I ended up like going away from that and then back into it.
It's the corporate trap that they set for us.
Yes. So yeah, since I was having my dreams all the time, like that things might happen a little bit later for me, I was like, well, I need to take really great care of myself. Like I need to make sure my skin is hydrated. I need to make sure I look great. And I'm not like trying to sell products that are like anti-aging. However, I just want people to look like really good and feel good in their skin. Especially,
I don't want to say challenge, but define that. You're not talking about anti-aging, but you want people to look good in their skin. What does that mean?
Yes, my whole brand is like tied into just like self-care and looking your absolute best.
What's the name of the brand?
Blessed Skin.
Blessed Skin.
How do you spell it?
BLESSED. Blessed SKN.
So, this is your infomercial, okay? And there's your camera. How can folks find out more about Blessed Skin?
So if you want to go on blessedskin.com, you can find so many different products for men or women, or you can find me on Instagram at Morgan P. Dawson, which you can find a bunch of videos of me using the products and stuff like that.
So
I got to ask.
Okay.
What all products do you offer?
Oh my goodness!
Listen, we locked in, bro. Yeah. We locked in.
I had to. I mean, obviously, she's mentioned the, body oils and things like that. But you got a skincare line, and you're doing quite well with it. What all do you offer?
I offer a beard oil for men. I offer a men's oil. I offer a dark spot oil for your face to remove any dark spots that you have on your face. I offer body scrubs, a face exfoliator. What else do I have? Vitamin C cream, which is really great for your hands, your neck, your face, which is where women and men tend to age the fastest. You can always tell somebody they age by their neck or their hands. So I use a vitamin C cream every day from my website. Okay. And that helps a lot. And then I have other body oils as well.
So are these all oils? Or are there any sprays?
No, I have creams.
There creams? Okay.
I have creams and body scrubs.
Body scrubs too. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I gotta ask this question. All right, let me let's get real with you for a second here. Mo and I are. Mo had his hands in the dirt, but I'm very much that too. But like as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, I had to clean up and do my whole facial cleanse. How am I doing?
No, your skin looks great.
I'm good. Mm-hmm. I'm straight because I got these little I can't go to sleep, so I got these little bags under my eyes, like a little darkness. Can you help?
I can, but you probably usually before anything like supplements, skincare products, they're not where everything starts. Like it starts with how you eat first. You're eating, you're sleeping.
I eat good. If you can't tell, I eat good.
But you're not sleeping.
No, I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
She already looked down. I know what else she's gonna say too. Go ahead and tell what else she's gonna say. Yeah, she's gonna say what you're consuming too. That's what she's gonna say. I saw her.
That's okay.
I saw what she's trying to say. It starts with your diet. That's what she's trying to say. She's being nice about it.
It starts with so many things, and then
I can't have no fun.
Sometimes.
In moderation.
Yeah,
but she was here, literally in this seat. I know. Or maybe it was this seat.
Yeah, I smoke cigars sometimes. But then I'll take a long break and I stop because I want to stay.
By the way, beautiful. I'm a little upset with you right now.
Oh, why?
Because we were supposed to smoke together again.
Oh, I know, but I'm on a fast.
And we're going to get into that too.
Yes.
We're going to get into that too. But no, so let's educate our visionaries, our viewership on ways to improve or give your skin the best or most optimal opportunity to be vibrant and snap back and look the way it needs to look.
Honestly, just sweating a lot, walking, sitting in a sauna, a high protein diet, good sleep, 6 to 8 hours a night. And then on top of that, having like a consistent routine outside of that, like using a face cream, a nice exfoliator a couple times a week.
Now I know this is your podcast, and we're obviously gonna promote Blessed Skin, but I'm curious because I do not have a skincare routine as a dude. Do you?
Not really. I just make sure I clean my body.
When was the last time you
Does that count for anything?
I don't know.
I just clean my body.
Can I say soap. Facial?
That's good. You clean.
It's clean. But when was the last time you did and I don't know. No. Whatever. No Diddy. When was the last time you did a facial? Or exfoliated? Because you're darker than I am, but you got you got good skin. He's got probably better skin than I do.
He has great skin.
Let me think. I've done a facial. My wife and I went to a spa 2 years ago, I think, for our wedding anniversary.
Said 700 plus days ago.
I think it was two years ago. We went to a spa, and
that was the last time.
I got a pedicure. Well, really, I just had her buff my feet because I keep my nails and stuff clipped anyway. But I got a pedicure and a facial. And I think that's the only time I've ever done that in my life.
Do you wash like?
Yeah, I mean, dial soap. I scrub my.
That made your skin crawl.
Oh no!
I scrub my face.
I use
whateve.
African black soap.
I've used that too. Like she mentioned making smoothies and stuff like that. Literally, like I'm to the point now. Like I used to have a really big sweet tooth, but now I'm to the point to where if I get hungry at night, if I want something sweet at night, I'll literally make a smoothie. It's some combination like blueberries, mangoes, papayas, and strawberries, or whatever fruits in the house. I'll have that like 6-7 times a week.
Those are all amazing for your skin too.
Yeah, like literally, it's basically a daily habit now at this point.
So my point in asking that, right? Like, for the both of us, we don't do like a normal skincare routine, and I know
I don't have time.
Well,
truth be told, I ain't got time for that.
It doesn't take time.
You do.
It doesn't take
time. Don't pay him no mind. Don't pay him no mind. He acts like he's a POTUS, but anyways, a couple years ago, especially in COVID, like everybody's on social media, and then you started to see like, here's my Sunday routine where I'm going to clean the house and I'm going to...
It's self-care Sundays.
Self-care Sundays.
Trending during COVID, yeah.
But it's mostly women, right? And then you started to see this influx of men, gentlemen, that were doing that, right? And these aren't your... And this is no disrespect, but these aren't your, your blue-collar guys, right? Like, these are guys that are trying to be influencers, et cetera. But it really got me to thinking, like, man, when was the last time I wash my face in the shower? But, like, I don't have a skincare routine.
Honestly, it makes you feel good. And if you have, like, a routine that just takes, like, an extra 2 to 3 minutes out of your day, like, you'll see the difference.
And that's that. You'll
see the difference. You have, like, an extra glow about you. They're like, dang, you look good.
Yeah, I want to come right back to that. So, tonight, and as you said at the beginning of the show, I was messing around. Well, I shouldn't say messing around, but I exfoliated. And I did a deep cleanse, and I hit it with some hot water. So I exfoliated first, got that off, and then I did an actual cleanse, and then I put the hydro something cleanser on afterwards, and then I splashed it with some cold water, right? Because I heard cold water keeps everything
cold
tight.
Water is great.
Yeah, and so I showed a little bit, the face and. So I look like you because I had the beard, but even though I can't grow a full beard like that, or whatever. But so I do all that. But I'm saying all that to say like guys like us, we don't do that. But your skincare products, they can help us when we don't have a normal like ritual where we're doing our skincare, right?
Yes, I know men like simplicity.
100%.
So
but that's not our foray. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, men like simplicity. And I had to also think when I started my business, like I do have like a lot of male followers. Obviously, people are attracted to me. So I was like, I should obviously make a product that's like for men. Because like men are always commenting on my posts like, do you have products for men? I'm like, men could use it. And I'm like, well, let me just make something that says for him on it. Because men needed to say for men.
Yeah. No, listen, we can't have our cards.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, we can't.
That's another episode. We got it. We follow you.
There's a percentage of men where that doesn't apply. Okay. Yeah. But for the vast majority of us, come on, for men only.
I think I've had a lot of men buy stuff for me who never had like any sort of routine, and they're like, well, I support this girl, I love her, so I'm just gonna try her products out. And they're like, oh, this is really nice. Like, my wife really loves this. Or like I have a lot of wives that follow me and they buy it for their.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the men.
No, a lot of women, and they buy it for their boyfriend or their husband, and then they're like, oh, Morgan, my man loves the oils.
So. Let's make it a little bit tougher on you. What separates your product line from anybody else, from the Mary Kays of the world and from the Cliniques of the world? And I'm really struggling to pull any other big branded names out there. But like, what separates your product from others?
Can we be honest? Like most products are like very similar. Like most products are very similar, and when people buy from you, they're buying from the actual brand and like what you stand for, or like just who you are as a person. Because there's a million vitamin C creams. There's a million oils.
But vitamin C is vitamin C.
Vitamin C. Well, I mean, some are better than others. Like, yes, obviously, there's some better products than others. But like, there's a bunch of people who make amazing products now. And like, what makes you stand out from another brand is going to simply be your marketing, your packaging. And that's that. It
is a packaging.
Well, I would say too, and you correct me wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your authenticity as the person behind the brand.
Exactly.
Because people ultimately, this is something I learned along my journey, especially in my line of work. It's the product is the product. Like she was saying earlier when she first started, the product is the product. And yes, there's an element of packaging and marketing, but ultimately people are betting on that person.
Well, people buy from people that they like, know, or trust.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so
the person.
I have been selling stuff or like getting money from people that follow me for a long time. So I feel like that's helped that I've built like a really high level of trust. Like I don't play with my reputation at all.
She's built that equity up.
I've built that. No one could ever call me a scammer or that I didn't provide the proper product, or if their package like broke in the mail that I didn't reship a new one. Like I always handle everything,
You ever worried
properly.
about getting hustled? Like, oh, hey, my package never came.
Oh, that's happened.
So what do you do as a business owner?
You have to you email back with the customer and see if you feel like they're like getting over on you, or if like it really didn't happen. Did they put the wrong address? But more times than not, I will just send them another one because it's not even worth like someone getting on TikTok and dragging you, and then now I got this situation.
Yeah, we're in an era now where if somebody's offended, they make it their personal business to let the world know they've been offended.
And then they'll drag your whole business down to the ground. So it's just like more times than not, it's not even worth it. So now like most of the people I sell to are my customers, and I've been working on like repackaging and like making like a new mission statement for my brand and all these things before I start. So all the money that I've made so far from my business has been for me. Like I haven't paid for anything at all, but I'm like, I want to start paying for ads and stuff like that in 2025, but I need to make sure everything is on point. And I know I'm going to get a lot more like chargebacks and people claiming not to have gotten their packages and stuff when I'm selling to people outside of my audience. Right now, my customers are my audience, but I want to go outside of my audience.
You expand your funnel.
But she's got a pretty big audience, so you can swim in this pool for quite a while.
No, yeah, I have like a lot of people on re-subscriptions like that get my oil every month.
So we've talked at length about ingredients. How does one go about like figuring out how to cook the product, basically?
They can go to school. I'm like currently taking an online course.
But you didn't do that before.
No, I told you I just do what I need to do. It's not that hard. Right. You can find a million formulators on YouTube that have channels that are dedicated to showing people how to formulate. Like even the school that I go to, and I don't know everything yet, but like they have a YouTube channel that's still free for everyone outside of our curriculum that people can go on and look how to formulate a sunscreen, this and that, and it'll give you what percentages of this should be in there, not too much of this, and it'll give you a whole breakdown, and then from there you can go in and switch out your ingredients.
Do you see yourself, this is kind of a sidebar, but once you firmly are further established, do you see yourself providing content around like, hey, let me give game on how to formulate?
Oh my God, yeah, I love to teach. I do feel
you give the game away for free, right?
Yeah, sometimes. I don't like do too much, but I definitely love to give people tips and help sometimes. But I love teaching. I love sharing. That's definitely like more in my future. Is sharing more, teaching more.
I was gonna ask this later on, but I can't help it. It's just
come on with it. Come on.
Will there ever be your time where you consider selling blessed skin?
Oh yes, of course.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
I was just watching this video the other day, and it was this woman who sold her social media like marketing agency. She like was an agency for influencers, and she sold it at like 40-50 million. She said like that. Mm-hmm. And now her job is to coach women on like how to plan an exit strategy for their business, and how every successful business woman, when she starts her business, she already has an exit strategy. And I was like,
I had to ask it because I was in my head. I was like, hopefully she's already thought about this because, you know, I hear every day about exit strategies and whatnot, and it's almost like, okay, you realize what you got your hands on, and now, like you said, you're gonna start working on, you know, paying for ads. So now you're like really cultivating it, and I'm just like, I'm sure somewhere down the road on her little goal board or wherever she keeps her notes at, exit strategy has to be here somewhere. That's why I had to ask.
Yeah.
No, it's important, and I'll toot our own horn. We had Dr. Jake Taylor Jacobs on the show. I think it was Q1 of 2024, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're correct.
But and it was really, and I'm 40 plus years old. Like, I never thought about starting a business to sell the business. Like, I love his approach in terms of, you know, you start the business with the exit strategy in mind.
Yep.
And, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs look at their businesses as their babies. And unlike a human being, like, these are for sale. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, there are some places where babies are for sale, but
no, we're not going down that road. We're not going down that road. But because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I want to help people. I want people to be their best version of themselves, skincare wise, etc. But we gotta get this bag. No. You know what I'm saying? So I can help more people.
Yeah, that's
ultimately what it's about, right? And so, like, I love the fact there's a number of things that, Morgan, you're doing from a mindset perspective. And again, our platform is about, like, growth mindset. Like, there's a number of things that you're doing that I really am impressed with at your age. The fact that you're thinking about an exit strategy is huge, you know. So kudos to you for that.
You can't get emotionally attached.
Really?
To things.
No, it is a vehicle to get what I really want.
Well, yes.
She wants to be in the Maldives. She wants to be in Alaska. She wants to go to Bora Bora and live life.
It's not that I'm not attached at all, but it's like, okay, well, what if God has something better for me?
Okay, absolutely.
Like, why be so attached to this business? I feel like this has to be mine forever. Like, what is nothing wrong with, like, letting go?
I absolutely love that. So one more time, I want to give you the opportunity for our visionaries and your followers, right? How can they support you? How can they buy from you? How can they get their skin to be the best it can be?
So if you guys want to follow me and support me, you guys can find me on Instagram, Morgan P. Dawson. All my platforms is Morgan Dawson. You can find me very easily. And you can check out my website at blessedskin.com. And don't forget to keep a healthy diet. And skincare starts within first. Before, like, actually putting products on yourself, it starts with the diet.
And you're talking about the diet. And so you and I share something in common that we do pretty frequently. You know, I a little tongue in cheek, joking with you about, you know, not smoking with us tonight, and hopefully we'll have her back on the show at some point, right? But what are you doing right now?
I'm currently on a 3-day water fast, aka a Esther fast.
Show your water bottle.
Yeah, it has my brand on it and everything.
Hey.
So I'm doing a 3-day Esther fast. I feel like fasting brings me so much more mental clarity, especially when I hit, like, roadblocks and I just need answers to things. I'll always fast and I always get those answers and stuff that I need.
So I'm actually starting a fast. I actually, at the time of this recording, would have done it, but, you know, I did a 42-day cleanse where I did just juice for 42 straight days prior to my 42nd birthday.
It was a very interesting time.
Yeah, it was cool, man. and I guess what? I'll do it again.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it again.
Did you do it for, like, weight purposes or?
I did it for selfish purposes, but the ultimate reason was to challenge myself. To let myself know that you can, there's not anything that, like, I don't have a crutch. I wanted to prove to myself that I don't have to have a crutch. And obviously food, you know, if you look at the Bible, and Satan or the devil, he tempted Jesus with food, when he was fasting, right? And so for me, and not to say that was a role in that, but like I wanted to know that I could do this and accomplish it. Excuse me. I love those mental challenges. I absolutely do. So like I'm actually going to do a hour-long run every day for 30 days this month, starting now at this point a week ago, November 1st, or technically November 4th. I love those challenges, right? As a former athlete, you never want to be told what you can or can't do, right? Like you can do this, you can do that. So I'm always kind of doing those challenges. Like I'm in the middle of a 90-day, 1 mile a day run. I don't even call it a challenge. It's just that's what I put out there, right? So like the 42-day fast and cleanse for me was to prove to myself that I can do whatever I put my mind to.
What else do you do when you fast, though?
In terms of what?
Like I find that when you fast, it's best if you like also journal, meditate, pray, and read a scripture in the Bible regularly. And I feel like it will give you like superhuman like powers in a sense. It will give you clear. It will make you see certain things so clear. It will be very like kind of crazy, kind of creepy in a way. Just one little quick story. One of the last times I did a fast, I wrote down like 3 questions and I asked God these 3 questions. And so I always knew that I was not having kids until I was in my late 30s, but that's like very worrisome for a woman. You like, I'm cutting it close. Mm-hmm. But like I already knew.
That's BS, by the way.
My mom had me at 36. My sister just had her first baby at 41 and going for her second at 42. So, but nonetheless, I was just
she
like.
Married?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's all about taking care of yourself.
Yeah. So that's another reason why I take great care of myself. But I asked God, like, will I be a mom? I already know I'll be a mom, but I just asked that question. And so I went to Whole Foods and I was putting my groceries in the car, and this guy like waved me down. He had like a cane in his hand, and one of his eyes was like really messed up. It was like he kind of looked like he was blind. Like his eye was rolling all over the place. And he was like, can I ask you something?
He waved you down?
He waved me down as I'm like getting in the car. I had like these jugs of water in my hand. I'm like, yes. And he's like, I don't know why no one else has told you this. He was like, but you're going to be such a great mom. He was like, and everything that you'll end up having in life, like you deserved it. Like, he was like, you're an amazing person. He was like, I don't know you. He was like, but you're going to be the best mom ever. And I was like, this is so crazy, because I just wrote this question down asking this, and then he turned around and I was like, oh my gosh, does he need food or something? And I turned around and he was like not there anymore. And I kid you not, he was gone. And I was like, I was gonna like go buy him food. And I felt like a bad person that I didn't like help him. And I'm like, he's just like an angel that like came and spoke to me while I was fasting.
What do you mean he was gone?
He wasn't there. I like went
she
to go.
She said thank you.
I said
she
thank you.
She put her jugs of water in the car. Probably turned around and he was gone.
And the handicapped man just sprinted away.
Yes. It was like out of a dream, and I tripped out so bad. I like got on my phone. I had to like tell somebody what just happened. I was like, "This is unbelievable. Nobody's gonna believe me."
My man
like
had to dip. He had somewhere to be,
so
man.
Crazy.
He was just the messenger. In and out. I'm out of here. I got somewhere to be.
It was really unbelievable, and I was like, "Wow!" And that's the first time I realized like how if you were like extremely intentional with your fast, and you spend a lot of time like praying, like if you don't believe in God. A lot of time meditating. I believe in God, so I spend a lot of time praying, journaling, and stuff like that. You will see like crazy things happen in front of you. Yeah, it may not be the first day or the second day, but it might be the third, fourth day. Your dreams become more vivid.
Yeah. So at that time, I think I really leveraged my cleanse as a challenge. Was it? The guy from Seattle, was it Sammy? It wasn't Sammy Mbong. What's his name? I can't remember his name. But he had done 100-day water fast. And he had dropped.
It'll come to me in a second. I know you're talking about.
He dropped,
an ungodly amount of weight.
Yeah, I'm going to say 100 pounds. I'm pretty confident it's 100 pounds. And to me, it was like, you're not better than me, so I'm going to do the same thing, right? But I'm going to do it as I did a juice cleanse. And, we'll talk about that here in a second. But I know you and I are both really keen on juicing. My challenge for the 42-day challenge was just complete the mission. I'm very good at. I probably should have gone into the military because I'm very mission driven. Like, this is the mission, complete the mission. I completed the mission. So I'm on a 90-day, like I said, run for a mile every day mission that will conclude. I guess technically, is it January 1st? Or December 31st?
No, you said 90 days, right?
It's 90 days for Q4 of this year.
November, December.
No,
so it'd be
October.
February. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, October, November.
You skipped way. Anyways.
Well, hi.
So I'm going to complete the mission, but I love what you're saying, and I'm always up for the quote unquote challenge. And I don't like to throw God and my spiritualness into a challenge, because that's what we should be doing, right? The fact of the matter is we don't do it. And so starting November 1st, it's now, I'm giving myself a 30-minute window, and that's it. That's the only leeway I have. I got to get up between 4:30 and 5, go run, pray, meditate, and really become the best version of myself, right? There's a book. There's an acronym called SAVERS. Have you ever heard? I'm trying to remember the guy that wrote the book right now. We've talked about this. No, okay. We have. No, yes, you have, because we've done this for 6 years.
You know what? You're right, but I don't remember. Tim, I don't remember. I don't remember it though.
His name is
right.
Tim.
You're right.
His name is Tim. Tim Ferriss wrote a book called the 5-Hour Work Week. Right, I believe that's what it's called. But it's also about, like, it's not called the 5-Hour Work Week, but he's got the 4-Hour Work Week is what it's called. And when you wake up, you do you scribe, so you write, you journal. You got to be active. You got to visualize where you are, what you want, where you're going to be, etc. You got to exercise. I can't remember the other R and the S, but basically it's everything that we talk about. Like, you're meditating, you're praying, you're writing.
It gets you grounded for the day.
Yeah, it gets you 100% grounded, but you're getting up early in the morning. And so I'm going to challenge myself for the next 60 days, starting November 1st. Technically, it's not 60 days because I'm going to start on Monday. But, you're going to challenge yourself. And I love those type of things. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes you better. And it lets you know, for me, it's beyond just, checking the box. But it lets you know that we're so capable. Like, we're so empowered, and we have these abilities, but we get so waterlogged with today's
crap. It's just all
mentality.
It's just all the stuff that we encounter throughout the day, whether it's social media.
No, it's not that. But like the culture, like
about all the ancillary stuff that
keeps our culture doesn't want
you from being focused on what it is you actually needing to be doing.
Well, it's like this culture, this Western culture of like, hey, you got to go to 9 to 5 and you got to do this and that's it. Like, that's not living. That's not life. So all of that being said, I super applaud you for being so conscious and being so aware of where you are, like, metaphysically, because that's ultimately what we're talking about. Because we are on a spiritual plane, and people don't realize that. So I you know, for me, I wanted to share this on the podcast, effective on Monday, November 4th. God, I hope that's the right date. But I'm going through my fast too, right? No, and I'm also going to do no drinking November except for 2 days, which is, you know, I'm part of a board for a foundation. So I'll have probably a couple of drinks that night and then Thanksgiving. But outside of that, not drinking that whole month. And like cleansing the body of that, like I'm a big fan of Dr. Sebi. Are you a fan of Dr. Sebi?
I'm not a vegan. Never gonna be a vegan.
You don't have to be a vegan, but you understand like the properties of healthy foods.
Yes, I love herbs. I love fruits, but I'm a carnivore, and I'm gonna eat a steak.
Yeah, let's go have a steak tonight.
Yeah. I wish I could have a steak.
You're fasting. So you're doing this fast, and you know, people don't realize that you can get a lot of clarity during your fast when you deprive yourself from food. What has been your experience?
I mean, my dreams get a lot clearer. I told you guys a story already of the guy who walked up to me in Whole Foods, but everything gets a lot clearer. So I guess it just depends on the fast that I do and what I ask. Every fast, I'm not asking like the same questions. I'm asking something different. Sometimes I'm not asking something big. Sometimes I could just be asking like, are you here with me? Are you listening to me, God? You know, like I just want to hear you better, more clearly. And so this fast that I'm doing now, I'm just looking to seek more clarity on my business.
I love that. I love that.
It's very helpful. I have like I'm already a dreamer. And I write all my dreams down. I write like 70% of my dreams down. Sometimes I'll be like, I don't need to write that down. But I write most of my dreams down. I have like in my phone, I can scroll forever and like see like how some of the dreams like come together or how they make sense now. I think I had asked God a question, and mind you, if you know, whoever's watching this doesn't believe this thing, that's okay. But I asked God, like, why do people say, like, psychics are of Satan? Like, I don't understand. Like, why is it so demonic?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it. Why is that demonic? Why is astrology demonic? Like, I don't understand it. And I kept asking that question while I was fasting until, like, 6 p.m. every day. And then, like, I finally got the answer. I forgot how, but it creates like so much confusion. Like if you watching like a psychic tell you that this is supposed to happen to you, someone reading tarot cards, and then you have an astrologer telling you that this is going to happen for you, and then you're trying to listen to God too, and your mind just goes so like
too many voices.
You're distracted.
Too many voices in your head, and then you make no progress because you're like, oh, a psychic told me this was going to happen on the 23rd, but this astrologer told me. You know, like people who actually have like psychic abilities are not supposed to be like profiting from them.
Well, pause, because psychics are not prophets.
No. They're not supposed to be profiting, not profits.
Oh, profiting. Okay.
Psychics are not supposed to be like profiting from you and charging from you.
Yeah. Prophecy is okay. Profiting is not.
Yeah. So
off of. You know,
taking advantage. It's taking advantage of the weak spot.
Yeah. Yes. So, yeah, I just feel like whenever you fast, whatever you have an answer to, you will get it.
No, I'm a. You know, I think. Have you done fast?
No.
I'll
go through kicks where I will go like straight green juice. Like I'll drink green juice. For like Tamara will make a gigantic thing of green juice, and I'll just run through it as fast as I can. That's about the closest I can get to a fast.
Yeah, but you're not eating like turkey meat or whatever.
I mean, I've been fasting off red meat since I was 17.
No, you just don't eat red meat. That's not a fast. You just don't eat.
No, I don't fast.
And you do eat red meat.
You know, you could just fast from like to like 6 p.m. every day. Those fasts are a lot easier.
So. Are you doing a full fast? So you said it was the Esther fast.
Yes, the Esther fast.
I've heard of a Daniel fast.
They have the Daniel fast, which is like fruits and stuff, right?
I believe you. I think you're correct.
And then Esther fast.
Like I get confused with. Listen, I'm not gonna eat nothing. How about that? And I'll just have water.
That's the Esther fast.
Yeah, Esther's water, Daniel's fruits and vegetables, I believe.
What about like if I want to have juice? Whose fast is that?
Daniel, really, because it's like fruit and vegetables.
Yeah, okay.
Check the book. I'm sure it's referred to.
Yeah, I don't need to do all that, but
yeah, you want to know what she said? You got to look it up.
I know Christ went 40 days in the wilderness with no food, and a lot of people don't realize that you can do that, right? Like as long as you're having your water, and I guess this is a cheat code, and it's not really, but like
fasting is a cheat code. I actually made a tweet. And it went super viral. And I tweeted, fasting is a cheat code. And a lot of people don't talk about it enough because regardless of what your beliefs are, honestly, like if you believe that, you know, the universe is everything and you're fasting, you're still going to find more clarity to like get yourself where you need to go.
Is it the universe or is it your mindset?
People have their own beliefs. That's what I'm just saying. Like whatever you believe in, if you fast and like take time to like look within and meditate or whatever you believe in, your mind is gonna clear up. We put in so much garbage in our bodies all day long.
That right there is the key.
But
right?
you have to be intentional about it. You have to be intentional about it. You can't just not eat and then like you're still scrolling through your phone all day long, or you're still just not like you're not locked in. Like it's like when you fast, like I fasted before and then that was not a good fast. Like I was not really like locked in. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm fasting.
I got a challenge for you. You don't have to answer it. Well, no, I do want you to answer it. You don't have to do it. What would it look like for Morgan Dawson to do a social media fast? Or social media cleanse, however you want to look at it.
Oh, I've done them before, but I don't do them for like a really long time because I
3 months.
I gotta get to this money.
You tell her to take money out of her pocket.
Come on, blessed skin.
I know I cannot. I've gone like a day or 2 days with like but absolutely not. I need to get on it.
Because you got a community to feed.
I love it. Well, Morgan, this has been. I knew it was going to be a treat, and I think our visionaries are certainly blessed. Like I said, I'm going to do my fast, and I think we'll probably talk offline because I think you love the challenge and things like that. So we'll talk offline and kind of figure out what we can do. But I think it's now at this point of the show where we can land the plane.
Indeed. So again, thank you for making time to speak with us. We appreciate you working through our technical difficulties to get this thing started.
Thank you for having me.
We asked this question.
Hold on, pause.
I was gonna get there. I got you.
You gonna go there? Okay,
yeah, I got
cool,
you. I got you.
By the way, what's the P stand for?
Oh, my middle name? Patrice.
Okay. Ooh, you got you a 70s name.
Yeah, Morgan Patrice Dawson.
So there is an imaginary round table. There are 6 seats. You occupy one of them. Who are the 5 other people you want at your table? The only stipulation we put on there is that you can't have God at your table because obviously, or whatever religious deity you believe in, obviously you'd want to talk to that person. So outside of that, dead or alive, who are the 5 people you want at your table?
That's a great question.
That's why he asked it.
Couldn't answer. I'm just gonna be honest. We'll be here till next week trying to have me think.
No, well, I guess we're gonna be here till next week.
You about to be on a social media cleanse.
You got 5 people. Who's at your table?
It's hard to say because I feel like there's a lot of people that I've looked up to in the past, and then like it's like when you find too much stuff about someone, like you no longer like really care for them. Like if you would have asked me this a year ago, I would have been like, oh, I would love to be sitting at a table with Oprah, with Tyler Perry, these people, but I don't know about today.
Let me refine it then. Today, present day, as we sit here right now, who are the 5 people at your table?
Yeah, you don't get to be the one that doesn't answer the question.
I'm not trying to not answer the question. I just couldn't tell you. I can tell you.
They can be family members.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Friends.
That's like when I look at it, I don't know. I really cannot answer the question. I'm so sorry.
You already know how I operate, so I will sit here until that question is answered.
What is the table for?
Whatever it is, it's your round table. There's no right or wrong answer.
You get a chance to talk to people and be influenced by them, be inspired by them, be educated by them. Whatever it is, it's your table. Dinner. You got. What's your favorite food?
I don't have a favorite food.
Sushi. So y'all having sushi, and it's just y'all. Like, what do you want to ask 5 people? Like, who are those 5 people that you would ask?
Do they have to be alive?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Okay. Let's see. Sam Walton.
Okay.
There we go.
He's cool. I'm just gonna go ahead and say my mom because I love her.
Sam Walton's the first, I believe.
Is it really?
I believe so.
No way.
I'm pretty sure Sam Walton's the first.
Come on.
My man.
We are tremendously humbled for you to jump into the lab, spend some time with us. I'm sure our visionaries are blessed with the information that you shared, and hopefully your audiences as well, as they get an opportunity to kind of see you, behind the curtains, so to speak. In case you didn't know, we have a magical time machine here in the Vision Lab. Okay? Mm-hmm. What advice is Morgan Dawson giving herself from 5 years ago? So you today, you're looking back at the younger version of yourself from 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. What advice are you giving yourself?
Honestly, I would tell myself to just not waste time, stop overthinking. Things are going to work out how they're supposed to. The more work effort you put in, the more effort you put into your work, the faster you'll see a reward. The longer time you spend overthinking and wondering and imagining, the more time you waste. And time is so valuable. So I would just tell myself to get started.
Absolutely. Love that. We've heard that a number of times.
Like, get started.
Visionaries, like get moving. Like if you see it,
start taking care of your fitness and your well-being first. And I think for most people who are confused as to where to start in their business or what they want to do, if you start taking care of yourself, like internally, not more than likely, you will figure out your path.
And I'll say this from a workout perspective, because I'm back on it, like pretty strict. It's so much easier to continue a regimen than it is to restart, stop and restart, and stop and restart and stop. So, like, if I can be of any encouragement, like, start it and just keep it going. Like, we hear a lot of times, no days off. Mm-hmm. Maybe that tickles your fancy. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you can do it. Maybe you can't. Whatever. But just start and keep going. Shout out to you for sharing with me Big Mike's album.
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike, excuse me. Killer Mike's album last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because he talks about keep going, just keep going. All right, so we're gonna fast forward the clock 5 years from now. You're about to break 40. What advice would the 39-year-old version of yourself? What advice is she giving you today in 2024?
Just keep your head down and stay focused. Don't waste any more time feeling confused. Even if you cannot see like the light all the time, you're still moving in the right direction.
I've got 2 more questions for you. Mm-hmm. We're going to lighten the mood a little bit.
Okay.
If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Probably a Black Panther. Is that a real animal?
It is.
Okay.
Very much so.
Yeah, it would be a Black Panther.
We can call you T'Challa if you want. Shuri. Or Shuri.
Yeah.
You want T'Challa or Shuri?
Sherry.
Okay. What book would Morgan Dawson? What would be the title of Morgan Dawson?
What would be the life title of my book?
Yeah, your life title. I love this. This. I don't know how long we've been recording, but that moment right there is what I look for, because now it's like true thought.
That's a good question. Unstoppable. That's just the first word I could think of, because it's just it just describes me, because there's nothing that could ever make me like quit. Like, I'm not a quitter.
Unstoppable.
There's nothing anyone could ever do to, like, I'm not the type of person, I don't live with regret or shame. You can't make me feel bad for anything. Like, life keeps going, so I'm gonna keep going. And I just know if I have a moment of like sadness or weakness, if I'm down for a week, that I'm still gonna keep it pushing.
I love that.
I always push through everything. So
unstoppable. It's actually a pretty solid title. Very strong. Very, very, very strong. I love that. Morgan, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I'll reach across here in a second.
Yeah. Visionaries, we've been blessed today to have Morgan on the show. Remember, each one of our guests are dropping nuggets of wisdom on the trail of life. Ultimately, my friends, it's up to you to pick them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Mosley. He is Ryan Cuffey. Thank you guys again. Thank you to our guest, Morgan Dawson of Blessed Skin and all things entrepreneurship and skincare and fitness and just being a true person of action. That speaks to me. I'm action oriented. Yeah. And we hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving holiday. Yep. Be blessed, be peaceful, be safe, and we will see you guys next time. Another great episode of the Vision Lab podcast.
Happy Thanksgiving. Blessings.
Thanksgiving.